Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Joey Owens Show. Gonzo'S Wrestling Room, Monday, October 16th, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by Tony Gonzo'S, like always. Also joined by Marcus Fine, like always. Up to 77 shows, getting up there. And we're also joined by Austin Gonzalez. How's it going, guys?
How's it going?
Doing pretty good. Dad, I'll let you kind of go while I finish.
Okay, well, didn't have a lot of independent wrestling that we went to this week. I think Marcus went to one show.
Yeah, the Dub Friday, that was it. There wasn't a lot going on this weekend.
No, we had I think one in Columbus.
Emerge was in Columbus, sellout. I seen the picture. I don't have results, but they packed it. They always do. There's one down in Jeffersonville that they may have had 20 from the videos I've seen.
Marcus laughs.
Well, it seems like you can't fill the arena for, I don't know. What's up, Billy?
Yeah, Marcus, I was going to ask you about that real quick.
Hey, Billy.
The clown is innocent.
I know who that is, too.
You know who it is?
I'm about positive who that is. Hi, Kelly.
IPW #1 fan.
Hey, how's it
David,
going, David?
we will see you on Saturday.
We got Matt.
Well, we got supporters of.
Oh my God!
Okay. I'm not even commenting on that. Okay, so we're going to move on.
I'm pretty sure I know who this is. I'm pretty sure Austin knows who that is too. I'm thinking that's somebody that changed their name.
Okay. Marcus, I was going to ask you because you go to Columbus and they sell. How many? They probably normally have 200-300 people.
Oh, shoot. I bet they have. It's about the same as what we've seen at Cornfield.
Okay, they do pretty good too.
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
going to say them two, the DCCW and probably Columbus is probably the two, probably on, I don't want to say every show, but for most shows, are probably two of the biggest drawing ones in Indiana. Would you agree with that?
From the ones I'm at. Now,
And then
I'm sure they're probably somewhere else, but that's the one. Yes. I don't want to say that, and then somebody comes up, hey, we had 1,000. Well, evidently I hadn't known.
I mean, there may be some other ones, but and I'll tell you another one that does pretty well. On all honesty, Kokomo does well.
Yes.
I'm not quite that much, but they do pretty well on an every show, basis.
Consistent. Yep.
Not as many shows this year, but they do pretty well. Okay, well, Mark, did you want to tell us a little bit about WCWO on Friday night?
All right. 50 at Bell, 25 in intermission. We don't know why. Half of them just up and left, but it was weird that we literally lost everybody that was in the second row moved to the front row. It was really interesting that had happened. But Jackson Morgan defeated Zay Gates in a non-title match. TJ Powers defeated Cecil Cerveza. He taped his thumb up with that popsicle thing, claimed it was injured, and right in his throat, and that's how he won.
Okay.
Ruthless Domination defeated the Water Boy and Max Sterling. Blake Moneyright defeated David Light. Jake Phoenix defeated Pogo, Jake Elliott, and J Beeve in a fatal 4-way. In the Battle of the James brothers, don't know if they were playing cousins, playing whatever, but Jordan even said something to Kenneth that, hey, I hadn't seen you since the reunion. So Jordan James defeated Kenneth James. So they were playing that angle.
Okay.
The highlight reel defeated Hidari and Christian Cash, and Rachel Armstrong defeated X Royal. I give it a B. I'd give it a B.
What do you think match of the night was?
Man, probably Jordan James and Kenneth James.
Really? Okay.
I mean, Rachel and Dex I've seen, highlight reel and Hidari. I mean, they beat up the hell out of Christian Cash. People need to come to Kokomo and see what his potential is and stop booking him like that. I don't think he gets a shake anywhere but Kokomo. They need to see what he can really do.
Yeah, he can go. There's no doubt about it.
Jake Phoenix is setting up this feud with Jackson Morgan. There's a lot of come in and attack afterwards. I don't know. And Blake's just his normal psycho self here anymore. But yeah, I or James and Kenneth James.
So you know, Marcus, these are some people.
I have a feeling he said he had buddies coming on. I think they're
yeah. Okay, so anyway,
well, I have problems with that Austin guy too, but I'm getting over it. I don't think you're gonna have a problem, Damon. I think you're going to have a packed house.
I think so. I really, I'd be surprised if you guys don't. I mean, you guys usually do pretty well, and you guys ain't had a show in a while, and it sounds like you guys got a good show booked. So I think you guys are gonna do well.
What's up, Daniel? We'll see you Saturday too.
Okay, our next topic, we was going to do a little pro wrestling report. We did a show this past Wednesday, and we already hit some of the shows. So all we really had was SmackDown, and then we was going to talk a little bit about the NWA. We got some reasons for that. So real quick on SmackDown, I thought it was a really good show. Some of the key moments in it, we had a face-off with Roman Reigns and LA Knight, which I thought was pretty cool. Triple H comes out and announces Adam Pearce will be the general manager of Raw, and Nick Aldis is now the general manager of SmackDown, which I think is going to be pretty good. Kevin Owens is now on SmackDown to finish off the trade between Jey Uso going to Raw. So now Kevin Owens goes to SmackDown. We also had a face-off, finish the story, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. We had a face-off there that I thought was pretty cool. And also at the same time, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso faced off. So a lot of story building during that show. LA Knight beat Solo Sikoa. I think that's only the second pin that Solo has tucked. And after that match, Roman Reigns speared LA Knight. Really good. It was the opening SmackDown of the season. So I thought it was a really good show. Austin, did you get to see it?
Yeah, I watched a decent amount of it. Looks like LA Knight versus Roman at the next pay. Was it Saudi Arabia?
That's what I think they're heading towards.
And probably what you think Jey and Cody versus Jimmy and Solo.
That's what I'm thinking.
You got to put Goldberg in there, don't you?
No, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think Triple H is going to do much of that.
He's going to break his record.
I think we may see. The guy just fought this weekend. Fight boxing.
Logan Paul.
I think he may be there, and you may see him against Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he called out Rey Mysterio.
He's called out Rey Mysterio.
I watched those.
So we may see that. So I thought it was SmackDown was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. That's on here. Okay, next we're going to talk a little NWA Power, and the reason for that is it just came out. The owner Billy Corgan announced that he claims they have signed a deal with a major TV network, a top 20 TV network that will start in 2024. He did not name the network yet, and we're going to have two wrestling related shows on that network. So for homework, I asked these guys to check out the shows, the last two shows that they've had on YouTube, and wanted to see what these guys thought of the shows. And Marcus, I'll let you go first. If you want to start with the first one, NWA Power 128.
We going match per match.
However you want to do it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to say, as an NWA product together, I think they need to either take a match out. I think the matches are rushed because they're trying to put 4 matches in an hour, and it seems like they're just bang, 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 bang. It's like they need to slow them down. I mean, they're not doing spots; they're actually wrestling, but it's like supersonic, like they hit fast forward. And
Well, and I was going to ask you guys about that. Did you guys like the fact that they really don't do ring entrances? They do a video introduction, so they cut out the ring. You guys like that, or no?
well, you're right. Taking out the introduction, people know who's coming, and you're not dragging out however long it takes somebody to get from point A to point B. I don't like. I also, it's weird not seeing the fans. They're there, but you don't see them.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense to me either. I know it's not a big crowd. That's fine. NXT's only got a couple hundred in their audience, for NXT. So I don't have a problem not having a big crowd. But yeah, I think you got to see the fans.
And you hear people taunting, but you don't see who's taunting. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good product. I mean, where you want to start with? Which one of these you want? The ladies?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're just talking about the ladies for the number 1 contender for, I don't know, the women's belt.
Yep, for the
number 1 tag belts. Yeah, because you had Team A take on the former champs, right? M95 was the former champs.
They were champs at one point. Yeah,
and Natalia and Taylor Rising become the number 1 contenders. Very fast paced. You're going to hear fast paced and a lot. Interesting to see a bulldog used. That's an old school.
Yeah.
I also like the fact they called it a schoolgirl roll up, since it was a female. And we were talking about the submission. I told you guys quit talking about it until after we went live. You have to be able to take that, because you put that on most people, you dislocate their shoulders the way they pulled those arms up like she did.
I'd never seen nothing like it before.
No. Very interesting. Not everybody can do that.
No, I thought it was really. I thought that tag team match was a really good match.
Yeah, it was. All the matches I seen. Well, wait till we get to day 2, then I have a little criticism. But all right, you guys want to talk about that match, or you want to go to the next one?
Okay, what Mark Chris, you got to see? I think you've seen that one show.
I saw all of them.
Okay, what'd you think of that match?
I thought it was a good match. I agree with Marcus, because that was going to be my number 1 take on it. Was I thought the matches, a lot of them were kind of short.
Yeah, but 5 or 6 minute matches for the most part.
Where I think if you, like Marcus said, take out a match, you could extend those matches a little bit. But I like the overall product. That women's match I thought was good. Honestly, them 4 women I've seen, they're better than some of the women I've seen.
Yeah,
on TV.
I agree with that.
On some of the weekly shows.
So. I wonder what Austin thought, because he likes women's wrestling quite a bit. What did you think of that match? Or did you?
That was the match you're talking about, the first match, right? Of 28. Yeah, that was the one match I seen. I thought it was a pretty good match. And like you guys said, that submission was very different.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how somebody doesn't get hurt doing that, but it looked cool.
Yeah, it was. I'd never seen anything like that.
I don't know any man that can take that. I honestly, you do that to any guy, and most women, you'd pop their shoulders out of place. I mean,
yeah. And on the entrance thing, like, I get what you're saying. Like, it gets to the point quicker, but like, for like a newer fan, I feel like the entrances are kind of needed. You get to know them a little more.
So one thing I did like, before each show, they did a video package of kind of setting up the show. I did like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So if a new fan is watching for the first time, it kind of gives you what you get about ready to see, and a little bit of backstory. So I did like that.
Yeah,
but they didn't dwell on it. They didn't dwell on it.
Nope.
They say, "Here's what's happening. This is what's going on. This is what's going to happen." And here's what's coming up for this thing in Cincinnati or Columbus or wherever they're going to be, in Cleveland or somewhere in Ohio. But they didn't dwell on it. They pretty much stated their case and went on. All right, we ready for another one?
Yep.
NWA Junior Weight Heavyweight title match. Is that a title match? Are all of
Yeah.
them always 10-minute TV time limit?
Yeah, I think so for the most part. Yeah, there was a title match.
Another fast paced. The fact that the guy is like Buck Sexton barely made that weight limit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like Buck Sexton's 5 counts. He barely gets to 5, and that guy barely made it into the light heavyweight part of that. Colby Carino.
yeah. Colby Carino versus Matt Vine.
I like Matt Vine. I liked his look. Colby retained. I assume he retained.
Yeah, he did.
He's the champ. I circled he won. And again, nonstop action. I mean, there was nothing. They were real fast, but
Yeah, I like the fact in that match it was a mix of old school. You know, you've seen some rest holds, you've seen some moves, but then you've seen a little bit of new school, some flying. Carino,
is that
everybody
a
thought
second generation? Is that a Steve Carino's son?
yeah, that's his son. A lot of people thought he was going to sign with NXT, and I don't know, something fell through, but he was supposed to be going to NXT.
Well, I can see that happening.
Yep.
He's
He's
got
pretty solid.
the ability. All right, then I had Chris Olivio Esquire taking on Jax Dane. Jax Dane, I like the look. He kind of reminded me of Justin Kyle. He had that. He didn't no facial expression. He just stood there.
Yep.
Just a big man standing there. And he won, and I thought he should. That was a grudge match, from what I understood.
Yep.
And that was a submission too. He made that guy submit.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Big size difference. One of mind games, clothesline and finishing move done. Yeah, that guy was a beast, and that Chris guy had no business. He looked like a nerd. Anyway.
Well, Silvio was the manager of Dane and another guy, and they had a falling out, and so he was basically beating up the manager, basically.
Well, he did. That hokey outfit he was wearing. But all right. And then in your main event, you had Thrillbilly Cyrus Mason taking on Drax Draper.
Yep.
That Thrillbilly's a big dude.
On his back, put that big old handprint.
What do you guys think of Thrillbilly?
I like Thrillbilly. The other guy didn't have much of a chance. I wrote that down here. He didn't have much of a chance. He reminded me of Terry Gordy, kind of like a new version of Terry Gordy.
I heard an interview with Billy Corgan, and he really likes Thrillbilly. That's just a guy that they're going to really push. He said he met him. I forget who he said he met him through, and he went to a show and was watching him. And Thrillbilly was supposed to win the match. Well, in the middle of the match, he read the crowd, and Thrillbilly was taking on a hometown guy, and Thrillbilly changed the match for himself to lose. And Corgan asked him about that. Why did you change that finish? And he said, because me winning made no sense. He said, I believe in everything that you do should make sense. And Corgan said, I fell in love with him right there and hired him on the spot for NWA. And he loves his look. He said he's going to be one of the cornerstones of NWA.
He's a big athletic dude. I know that.
That thing he did with his head, dropping his head on that top rope. You only see him clothesline through the neck or something. You never see him like drop his head. I mean, that was an interesting maneuver. The guy's got the look. They also set up a Knights of the Round Tables match for the next pay-per-view.
And did you know who that guy was? The manager that set that up. His name's Aaron Stevens, but he used to be in WWE. He was the manager. He used to be with the Miz, and he was the Miz stunt double.
Okay.
I can't remember his name in WWE. Austin might remember.
Damien Sandow.
Oh, yeah, of course it was.
And I thought Aaron Stevens was very entertaining. I thought that was a pretty entertaining segment.
Murdoch and whoever his path.
He used to be in WWE also. I can't think of his name.
Who?
The guy that's tagging with
Knox and Murdoch.
Yeah, Knox. Mike Knox. He used to
Mike
be
Knox.
He used to be
a heck of a looking team.
Yeah, they're some big fellas. Yeah.
Yeah, the only complaint I had was they needed to slow it down. I mean, it was like in the old days when you used to tape SmackDown or you used to tape Raw and you used to tape Nitro, and you'd sit there on the VCR to get through all the crap so you could. That's what it was like watching. It's like you wanted to get to the points, but you didn't want to go through all the point A to point B. You wanted to get right to the finish because a lot of but
Yeah, we'll get to 129 in a minute. But I thought 128 was a better show than 129 personally.
definitely.
And the other thing I took was during that show was the women on their interview skills. They need to work. The women was not comfortable at all.
I
And
agree.
that was another thing. I like the interviews, but they could. I mean, you could cut out an interview or two during the episode, and then you wouldn't have to rush through the matches.
Yeah, they're trying to put too much in
the
a small
interviews.
period of
I
time.
like some of the interviews. Some of them were good, but I think they try to squeeze in too many interviews within that little time limit that what, because I think it was 45 minutes to an hour is what.
Yeah, I think their formula is supposed to be kind of like maybe what TBS was, and there was a lot of short matches on TBS too. But also, usually though, the main event on TBS usually would be twice as long as the other matches. Old school, NWA. So yeah, that's something they're going to have to tweak.
And that was something. It's more on 129, but like the first match on 129 was that the TV title match.
Yes.
Match, the end of the tournament.
Yep.
And it was a no time limit match. You would have thought that would have been
the TV.
You thought that would have been the end.
Well, the reason they said it was for the tournament. The reason that was, Chris, and I figured that out, was because they had to have a winner. That's why they said no time limit. Because if it went 10 minutes and it was a draw, because
I understand that. I'm
that's
just
why
saying
they
you
did
would
it.
have thought that would have been, but you thought that match would have been toward the end of the show, not
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah,
match.
open the show. Yeah, that was a little different.
I thought it was also unique. They give. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
Oh, how they name all these episodes? Because 128 was called "Keep Your Enemies Close." 129 was "When TV Stars Align." I mean, to be able to name all your programming every week.
Yeah, see what they do. They do the taping. What they normally do, they'll do a pay-per-view, and then they'll go do a TV taping and do like 6, 8, 10 episodes or whatever, and that leads into the next pay-per-view. And then they'll do another TV taping. That's what they're kind of doing.
I see.
Okay. NWA Powers 129. It opened up with Mims against Ziggy Dice. Ziggy Dice was with NWA, pretty popular. Left, went to AEW, didn't work out. Now he's back in NWA. But Mims beat Ziggy Dice. Okay match. I didn't think it was bad.
Mims has a good look.
Yeah, I like Mims.
Yeah, Mims has got the good look. Dice needs to change his wardrobe.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't like the way he looked once he with the wrestle.
He used to wear brighter colors. Used to have like a real bright blonde hair, and he's kind of changed his look. I don't know why he changed it, but he did change it. Next up, I had the Southern Six, part of the Southern Six, Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton, taking on the Spectaculars. And I was going to see if Marcus took the tie in with that. They was trying to look like the Fantastics with the bow ties. But
if you can read my paper right here,
yep.
I put they either look like the Fabulous Ones or the Fantastics with the bow ties. And I have that rolled right here on my paperwork.
That match was so quick.
Yeah, it was quick. Well,
it was a squash.
It was a squash.
Yeah, it was a squash.
And the Spectaculars, I was going to say, they look like the Fantastics or the other team. If you got them off Wish, they didn't have much of a chance. But that was a quick match.
That one guy didn't even get in there.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Kerry Morton was another one that went to NXT, and a lot of people thought that he was going to end up there. I don't know what happened there. I think Morton's not bad.
No, I think he has the look and everything. I don't know what happened when he went over to NXT.
And then next we had Judas, manager James Mitchell with him against Sal the Pal, and that was pretty much a squash.
Yeah, I have that squash too.
Is that James Mitchell? Is that the manager that we saw in Cincinnati?
No.
They look an awful lot.
He looks alike,
but a lot alike.
Yeah, he was around. He was with Abyss and Impact and stuff.
But them two dudes' gimmicks are like the same. Because that guy from Cincinnati, I thought it was him, but that Judas, I was impressed with his look.
Yeah,
I mean, big athletic dude.
Yeah, big dude.
Well, I got some.
I thought he was pretty good.
You want my take?
Yeah.
It was a squash. There's definitely a size difference. I thought it was stupid that the way the other guy took control of the match was when he bit the guy's finger. Now, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bit his finger, yeah.
And you can't take being bit in the finger. And that's how he turned the match around from what little match he turned it around. But
Yeah.
Well, then it cracked me up. The little guy in the mask came out and hit him with the horns. Like the little horns was really going to do something.
Yeah, that didn't help much. From there, we had the U.S. Tag Team title match. Daisy Kill and Talos against Beat the Country Gentlemen. They retained their titles. What do you guys think of that?
I don't know what I'm reading here. Well, that's the one where the guy brought in his brother.
Yeah, then the Immortals came out and Daisy Kill and Talos, they had another match, but they lost that match. Daisy Kill and Talos lost that by count out. Both of them were U.S. title matches.
Yeah.
It was weird that they're United States tag team titles.
That's an old NWA thing. Okay, I was going to ask you guys what you guys seen of the shows, what you liked about the shows, and what you didn't like about the shows.
Well, I got a statement. Is that the dude that was in WCW? Why? That guy should have hung it up years ago. I never was a fan of Vampiro. There's a DVD set out, and they walk up and they said, "Could you state your name?" And the guy was pissed off at the reporter that they didn't know who he was. It's like, because you ain't a nobody. That's why she didn't know who you was.
Yep.
And why did they resurrect that guy? Because I'm thinking, you gotta be shitting me. I thought I was done seeing Vampiro, but I guess not.
Well, you know who they got them feuding with? That'll tell you something right now. At this next pay-per-view, no, they got them even worse than that. One of the this is going to piss off Walter. One of the Insane Clown Posse.
Man.
Shit.
One of those, Shaggy Too Dope, or one of the other ones. That's who they're feuding with. So that tells you right there. Okay.
I thought 128 was a lot better than 129. 129 was more like watching a Saturday morning because there was a lot of squash matches.
Yes, I agree with you.
So
28 was a lot better than 29. I agree with that 100%. One of the things I got from the show was you could tell Billy Corgan likes big guys. A lot of big guys on the show, man. I think him and Vince got together. They like big guys.
There weren't very many small guys on there.
Well, there was not a lot of medium guys. They're either big or real little. I mean,
there's no in between. It's either, you're right. You got a Ref Cody or you got a Hidari. If you don't fit in that category, you can't be in NWA. But
one thing I did like on that 129 show was when they started rolling the credits after that U.S. tag team match, and the other tag team came out and challenged them, and they kind of almost started the show back, and had that match real quick, even though it didn't last very long. I thought that was kind of cool, different. They act like, the show's ending, going off there, and then stop rolling the credits and have a match. I like that. I thought the wrestling was decent. I mean, I did like Jackson Dane's look, like you said before. That dude, the Bulletproof Troop, the guy that's going to end up having a match with, that's a big son of a gun. The guy was out there with Esquire and their interview segment there on 129. I'd like the small studio, Phil, but I agree with Marcus. You got to show the fans.
Well, they did in the old days. I mean, the fans are right there. I know you only had like 2 rows of fans on one side of the ring, but you could see them.
Yeah,
you could barely see the announce table. It was like they stuck it over way in the corner.
And I think
just kind of out of the way.
I see how you guys feel about this. I think that one reason I think I like 28 better was that they had the women on the show. I think 29 would have been better if they would have had a women match on that show. I think it would level things out. Just having all men, I think, hurt the show. What do you think?
Yeah, 2 squash matches. I can see a squash match, but don't put them all on one show. You could have maneuvered them around a little bit. But
what do you guys think of the camera angles, man? They was really moving.
Well, they have to. Those guys are doing too fast.
Well, true.
But see, even with the camera angles, they hid the fans well. You didn't see the fans at all. So,
and they had a lot of cameras too.
Yeah, seemed like a lot of cameras. What do you guys think? Do you think this what big changes are they going to need to make to make it on if they go to a top 20 TV network?
Well, try not to cram everything into 1 hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And like I said, they need to make the crowd a little bigger, or at least viewable. You couldn't even tell how many was there. Maybe there was not even a crowd there. I mean, maybe it's all piped in.
Well, they used to when they used to film in Atlanta. They used to be at the at a
Looked like,
place.
it looked like a couple times you could see
Yeah,
a few
few
down there on
people.
that one side. But
Yeah.
I don't know how many.
Yeah, they used to have a crowd there in Atlanta when they taped the show NWA a couple years ago, and they showed the crowd. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the way the building's set up that's difficult to do. I mean, I don't know. I think that was filmed in, if I remember right, in Tennessee.
I looked up ticket prices for that one in Cleveland. You get them $12 to $20. I think is what they are.
Really, that's not bad.
They're real realistic. Yeah, they were real reasonable.
Yeah, I know Impact is usually pretty reasonable too, for the most part. Yeah, I think they're gonna. Well, they are trying to bring back the territories. The first territory is in Florida.
No, he was jacking around. He probably dropped his phone on the floor,
or
he pulled up his plays until he quit commenting about stuff.
Well, the first territory is going to be in Florida. They've already signed. I think it'll be interesting. I think they do need to bring in some younger talent, maybe a little. You think? I want to say faster pace. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know. You can be old school, but Marcus, can you be too old school for the TV crowd?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this is a new crowd.
Yeah.
I love old school too, but is there enough of us to keep it alive?
Yeah,
you're not playing us. You're playing the Austin generation.
Yeah, that's true, because that's one thing that Billy Corgan's going to have to learn if he wants to be successful. He can't just play to what he likes, and he likes the old school. He likes the big guys, and there's nothing wrong with the big guys. They definitely got their place. I like the big guys too.
We should be there Friday, Jonathan, and Saturday. Oh, I know we'll be there Saturday, but we should be there Friday.
Well, did you guys got anything else on the NWA?
I'll try to do my homework next time and watch it, so I can just talk instead of say. So, when's the next one? When do they do it? What day?
They do a show every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Okay.
Free on YouTube. I tell you guys might check it out. I think it's an interesting product. I mean, it depends on what you like. If you like the AEW, you're probably not gonna like it because it's probably gonna be way too slow paced for you.
Well, now that can be in two different ways. There, you got the father and son in the corner, father and son up here and down here.
Yeah.
You have two sets of father and son going on here, or the triple, or the Mexican jumping beat, the triple six-man tag team.
I like that tag team.
You have to watch last week's to know where that come from. So,
well, moving on to next. And Marcus, you got your Indiana Pro Wrestling Spotlight?
I do. You want that? You want to? I got a few this week in history.
Okay, either one.
Day in history. I gotta find out where I put that. That was way back here. Okay. All right. Let's see. That's Tony's girlfriend.
Daughter.
All right. This was actually yesterday, but I like the fact that how they worded it. October 14th, 1971. Dick the Bruiser defeated Baron von Raschke in Indianapolis to win the WWA title. And they played the same event in Detroit the following week because, people from Detroit wasn't coming down to Indy or vice versa. 1971, there wasn't on TV. And they ran the exact same show in Detroit the following week where Bruiser defeated Baron von Raschke to win the title. So, and let's see, 95, 2017, 18. Okay, I had them in order. Wow. 1995, and that's on the 15th of October. Monday Nitro from Albany, New York. Ric Flair and Sting faced Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman in the main event from Monday Night Nitro in 1995. 2000. Stone Cold Steve Austin returned to the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit for the Monday Night Raw leading up to No Mercy. And that's when he almost got ran over by Rikishi. You remember that?
I remember that.
I did it for The Rock.
It's hard to believe, though, that was in 2000. That don't seem like it was almost a quarter of a century ago. But 2017, Braun Strowman defeated Roman Reigns in a steel cage main event on Monday Night Raw, Portland, Oregon. And then it was weird. I'll tell you why here in a minute. 2018, 1000th edition of SmackDown from Washington, D.C. And the New Day defeated Cesaro and Sheamus to win the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Well, that was funny because I said that about Roman Reigns in the steel cage where Braun Strowman defeated Roman Reigns in a steel cage in 2017. But then you go 3 years later to the date, Roman Reigns successfully retained the Universal Championship against Braun Strowman and then went on to destroy him by a steel chair. And that's what I have for stuff that come up that sounded like anybody wanted to hear it. I mean, they had a lot of stuff you like. Well, nobody cares about that, but or at least I didn't. So again, that's thanks to Daniel and Dave Dynasty for that stuff. Okay, Nick Dinsmore. That's my spotlight. Oh, I got one more Indiana spotlights. No, I got two. So Nick Dinsmore, also known as Eugene, born December 17th, 1975 in Jeffersonville, Indiana. The names he went by was a conquistador. He was Dr. Nicholas Dinsmore. He played Doink the Clown, who didn't at one time. Eugene Dinsmore, Mr. Wrestling number 2, which I don't know why they would revive that, because there was a Mr. Wrestling 2 that actually was a very successful wrestler. I don't know.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Special E, Eugene, and then U-Gene. That was a copyright. They wanted to use Eugene, but they couldn't call him Eugene or spell it the same. So he was trained by Nightmare Danny Davis, debuted in 1996 at OVW, became the OVW champion. 11-time OVW champion, or 10-time OVW champion, 11-time tag team champion. He debuted in WWE as Eric Bischoff's nephew and worked a lot against Triple H and Kurt Angle. I've seen Eugene once years ago too. I think it was TJ Kemp brought him in.
I thought Maples brought him in one time too.
He probably did. He was a tag champ with William Regal and released from WWE in 2007 and went back to OVW, and that was like depending on how they needed him. In 2015, he started Midwest All Pro Wrestling. I think that was his. Worked in the USWA team with Rob Conway called the Lords of the Ring. Won the Southern Tag Team titles 10 times. Rob Conway, I'm sure you've seen him in person. He's been up here a lot too.
Yep.
On shows. He played Doink twice. He was one half of the Los Conquistadors with Rob Conway. He was a jobber in WCW for 6 months. And, of course, he worked in WWE on many spot events, like he come in for Battle Royals or whatever after he was released. And here, Walt will like this. He worked for G.W.R Championship Wrestling. And, of course, he worked the Indies and Ring of Honor. So that's all I have.
Okay.
I got the Ultimate Warrior, and I got Mick Foley. That's the last two Indiana born, and then we'll spread out.
All right. Well, next up we got real quick. I've got the crazy wrestling stories, and I'm going to do stories every now and then. But this is the first one. This one I thought was pretty cool. It's called the Mabel. And this goes back to ribs that wrestlers would play on other wrestlers on the road or stuff like that. This rib was meant to be pulled on Don Jardine, who was the spoiler, a masked wrestler. He's actually the guy that trained the Undertaker, and he's also the guy that invented old school the rope walk. That's where Undertaker got it from. It was, one of his trainers, Don Jardine. The boys in Florida would tell a new worker that this mystery woman named Mabel had eyes for them and would set them up on a date, and they would go back to their house. They would tell them bring food, bring alcohol, stuff like that. He would get with the lady, they would get naked, and then her jealous husband or boyfriend would come in with a gun, and they would take off running out of the house naked, and then all the other wrestlers would drink the booze and the food and stuff. Well, they set up Jardine, the spoiler, and he went to the house and run the alcohol and the stuff and the food and got naked and stuff. Well, the guy came through the house with a gun, and Jardine proceeded to beat the shit out of him, and the wrestlers had to come in and break it up because he beat the hell out of that guy. And but the interesting thing about this story is that this actually made a movie. If some of you guys have seen the movie Porky's, that's where they got the story from. It was in Florida, and if you've seen the movie Porky's, they set up a high school kid with a hooker and stuff. A bunch of them go in there, get naked and everything. So you might check out the movie Porky's. So this story.
You're laughing, Austin, but I'm telling you, Porky's was a big deal when we were growing up. I don't know about like beforehand.
Chris has seen it.
Well, I know he's seen it, but when I was in high school, if you had that VHS of Porky's, it got passed around because it was pretty risque at the time. Now it's nothing. Now you look at it, you laugh like, what the hell were we thinking? But back then it was a big deal to own a copy of that or even watch it because it was so R-rated. R-rated was a big deal back then. But
yep. Real quick, I got some weird wrestling facts, and then we'll go to our mixed up wrestling tag team bracket that we have. This is a weird one. This is from Bleacher Report. I didn't realize this. In WrestleMania in 2000, there was no regular singles matches. One-on-one.
That's the one, the Fatal 4-Way, right? With Big Show.
4-ways, I think 3-ways, tag team matches, stuff. There was no. Isn't that crazy?
Sounds like a fucking AEW show.
So they didn't have any singles matches on there? Is that what you're saying?
Not one regular singles match.
Well,
Really?
Tim couldn't announce that.
And here's another interesting one. Roddy Piper never competed at a SummerSlam.
Huh.
Well, I'm going to take your word for it. I'm not going to sit here and try to rack my brain try to figure out if he did.
Another one. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle was the first WrestleMania main event where the two wrestlers used their real names.
That's interesting.
Okay. This one's kind of interesting. Sheamus was a bodyguard for Bono of U2, and Brodus Clay was a bodyguard for Snoop Dogg at one point.
Wow.
Didn't know that. Renee Dupree was the youngest wrestler to win a WWE Tag Team Championship at the age of 19.
Was she a wrestler before?
That's the Love Resistance.
The Resistance. It was a guy. Part of the Resistance.
Oh, I don't know why I was thinking Miss Dean Ambrose. What's her name? Renee Young. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's married to Moxley. 2005 to 2010, the last person eliminated in the Royal Rumble still went on to have a world title match at that WrestleMania. 2005, Cena was the last person eliminated. He was still in a WrestleMania main event. Orton in 2006, Shawn in 2007, Triple H 2008, Triple H 2009, and Cena again in 2010. Even though they got last person that got eliminated, they still made the main event.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones because that's the one Edge wins.
This one I thought was kind of weird. Al Snow's mannequin came from they got that mannequin from the model of the Mankind's mask. When he was first showed the mask that he was going to wear, that's where Al Snow got that mannequin from. The first one he used for head.
Wow.
originally SmackDown was originally be scheduled to be an all women show. I never knew that.
Back in the early 2000s?
SmackDown, when it first started, was originally going to be an all women show.
No, I'm not being whatever the word is against women, but
Yeah,
chauvinist. But I
Yeah.
don't think that would have worked.
I
Not
don't-
back then.
No, I doubt it.
I think they could do one now.
Well, now they could. Yeah, I could see it now. I couldn't see it back then. No.
This
I
is
wish they.
interesting.
When they weren't even wrestlers back then. They were
Oh, no.
divas. 90% of those people were just eye candy. They had no.
That's true. Triple H versus Orton, Cena versus JBL, and Undertaker versus CM Punk are the only three matches to open a WrestleMania and to close the WrestleMania. Different years, of course, but they've wrestled. They had opened a WrestleMania before, and they've closed a WrestleMania.
Say those again.
It was Triple H and Orton, Cena
Okay.
and JBL, and Undertaker and CM Punk.
When did Undertaker and CM Punk open a WrestleMania?
I don't know, but this is what it says. And this was a crazy one. Andre the Giant actually fell asleep during a match with Big John Studd, and they stayed in a front face lock for 8 minutes.
Well, you mean WrestleMania 1? Because that's the only time those two wrestled each other.
No, this was at the Cow Palace.
Oh, it wasn't a WrestleMania? Okay.
No, this wasn't a WrestleMania match.
Because that was the body slam thing.
Yeah, this was at the Cow Palace, and Andre was drunk and went to sleep.
Well, there's a surprise.
So
8-minute headlock.
I thought that was pretty interesting. Next up, we got our mixed up tag team brackets. All of us came up with our tag teams, 4 each, and seeded them ourselves. It's going to be Marcus's against Chris and Austin against me, and then we'll 16-person bracket, and we'll see how it turns out. You guys out there, help us out on your voting on this, and we'll vote too.
Because if it's mine and Chris's, then we'll have to leave it up to you guys to vote. Because he'll vote for his, and I'll vote for mine. I mean,
well, you'll cancel each other out. So maybe. I mean, what if somebody does really better and you agree? So no.
Okay,
our first matchup is Marcus's number 1. He had Bruiser Brody and Cactus Jack taking on Chris's number 4, Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn.
Ooh.
Hush.
I have to go with Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn just because I know.
I go with Brody and Cactus.
See, that's what, and you know what? Me and Chris will pick. We got to go to. We got to go.
Right now, it's 2-2. We got another Brody and Cactus, so it's 3-2. See if we get another vote here. Another couple votes. Another Brody and Cactus.
Looks like they're probably gonna take it, which I get.
They definitely have a size advantage.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, Mankind's not as small as people probably think. He's got to be close to 6 foot, right?
Yep. Next up, we have Chris's number 2 against Marcus's number 3. We have Chris's number 2 is Andre the Giant and the Undertaker, taking on Marcus's number 3, Stan Hansen and Aku.
Damn, can you imagine that?
Oh yeah, I'd love to see it. I'm gonna have to go with Undertaker and Andre. Just too much size.
Yeah, I'll go Undertaker and Andre.
That matchup, yeah, shoot.
Well, I think we all picked Undertaker and Andre.
I'm gonna kill a dog. Stop.
Hey, I've been having a cat mess with my feet the whole time.
Let's see. Damien says that's tough. But then he said that he would go with Taker and Andre. Kelly says Taker and Andre.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with Taker and Andre. Yeah, those guys are good, but
Dang, she didn't even vote for yours.
yeah, I know.
Just like Taker Andre.
Yeah. Oh, I lost that one. So that was, not putting the other team down, but man, they didn't have a chance against Andre.
Okay, this one's gonna be interesting. Marcus's number 2, Jerry Blackwell, and Bam Bam Bigelow against Brock Lesnar and Gunther. It's tough, man.
Woohoo!
I would pay a lot of money to see these
I,
matches.
I went with some big guys.
I gotta go Brock Lesnar and Gunther.
Another Brock Gunther. I love
That's a tough
Blackwell and Bigelow, but man, Brock and Gunther, I think would just be too big.
Yeah, because
Daniels
Michael was
with
big,
Brock.
but Brock was big and speedy. So,
Yep.
and so
Kelly
was
said
Bigelow.
Brock.
Actually, too much speed and power on one side.
Yep. Brock and Gunther looks like got it. Next up, Chris's number 1, Stone Cold and MJF against Marcus's 4th seed, Harley Race and Gordy. I'm going with Harley Race and Gordy.
Yeah, Race and Gordy got that one.
Two mean mother truckers, man.
What are we saying, trucker? Now we done.
I know, but he even does that on commentary.
True.
Yeah, he does that shit on commentary too. He says, "I don't want to cuss." Well, you did at the beginning of the show. Why you starting?
I'm trying to come up with a
I'll
new
go. I'll go Stone Cold MJF. Yeah, I'll go Stone Cold MJF.
Harley Gordy.
Looks like it's gonna be Harley and Gordy.
Ooh, that's 2 and 2, but I don't think they're going to beat Andre and Taker though.
And I give that up. Okay, it's going to be Austin's number 1, Daniel Bryan and Steamboat. This is interesting against my number 4, Bryan Danielson and Chris Benoit.
I'll have to go with the Steamboat.
I'd pay a lot of money to see that match.
I'm still going Daniel Bryan Steamboat, but that's a tough one. That's your 4th seed.
That's my 4th seed.
You try to set me up.
Well, exactly what he did. That's what he knew what everybody had.
No, I put mine down before I got anybody else's. So, and I give him my number 1. You'll know that when you see my number 1.
Kelly says Steamboat and Bryan.
Dad, who did you go for?
It's a tough one because I'm a big Ben. I think I'm gonna go with Steamboat and Bryan.
Looks like he's gonna get it. Okay, next we got Kurt Angle. Oh, this is Austin's number 3. Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes against my number 2, Brock Lesnar and King Kong Bruiser Brody.
I'll have to go with Lesnar and Brody.
Nah.
Lesnar's got a
Angle and Cody against Brock and Brody. Brock and Brody would kill Cody.
Brock beat.
Well, you got
Hasn't
Kurt
Brock
too.
beat both those guys though.
Yeah,
Brock
Kurt-
has beaten Kurt.
Cody beat Brock too. They all beat each other.
Big body Brock. Brock and Brody.
Dang, man.
Like Brock and Brody.
Brock and Brody is what Kelly says.
This
Daniels, Brock and Brody. Yeah,
this
Brock and Brody are.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, guys. Austin's number 2, Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins, great team, against my number 3, Randy Macho Man Savage and Randy Orton.
Ooh, that's a good one.
No,
I'd pay to see that.
I'm gonna go with the Randys because I'm not a Shawn Michaels fan. I mean, he was talented. I give him kudos. He was very good at what he did. I just never.
We got HBK and Rollins.
We got a Macho Man and Orton. What do you think, Chris?
I'm gonna go Macho Man and Orton.
Man.
Daniel went to Randy's.
Looks like it's going to be the Orton and Savage.
Wow.
Okay. We got Austin's number 4 against my number 1. Austin's number 4 is Batista and Ricochet against my number 1. And remember, this wasn't my original number 1, so I had to throw something together real quick. Abdullah the Butcher, and Cactus Jack.
Really, I thought you'd put Dusty Rhodes in there.
Yeah, I should have.
Okay, so Butcher and Cactus. Well, I've seen them guys wrestle each other. I don't know if they ever teamed. What was the other one?
Against Batista and Ricochet.
Oh shoot, no. Abdullah and Cactus had them guys a bloody pulp. They wouldn't even want to get them.
I think they'd eat Ricochet.
They have to catch him first.
That's
True.
the only thing. But when they did,
But you got Batista back
Stephen
up.
King wouldn't even touch
They
it.
got Batista.
Yeah, Stephen King wouldn't even touch it.
Abdullah and Cactus. Butcher and Jack. Austin, I think you're in trouble, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you didn't have good teams. It's just bad.
I think my teams would be better teams in real life, though. That's all I'm saying. Better tag team. They go better together.
Okay, our next matchup, we have Brock and Cactus against Taker and Andre. I got to go with Taker and Andre.
You say Brock and Cactus?
Brock and Cactus.
Yeah, I'll go Taker and Andre. I think he might have froze. No, he's
No, that's me thinking. Depends on what. It depends on when you put Andre in there.
You got two.
Yeah.
You got two Taker and Andres so far.
Well, I don't think it'll matter because I was thinking Brock and but Taker and Andre probably get it as long as you had a healthy Andre.
Okay, we got next up Brock and Gunther against Harley and Gordy. I'd pay a lot of money to see that.
I gotta go Brock and Gunther.
That'd be
'Cause Harley was a mean mother, man, and Gordy too. That's tough.
Yeah, I'll take Brock and Gunther on that one.
Well, I'm going Race and Gordy.
Ends in a double choke slam. What do you think? Well, Chris, that was one of you guys won it. Man, that's tough for me.
Kelly went Gordy, and who was it? Gordy and Harley.
Gordy and Harley against Brock and Gunther. Man,
Daniel went Brock and Gunther. Damien said, "I can't pick this one." Laughing out loud.
I think it's going to be
Gotta
Brock and
pick.
Gunther.
IPW #1 fan said Jake Paul. We got a Logan Paul.
God.
He come in one,
Brock
wasn't
and
even in it.
Gunther. I'm going Brock. Or I'm going with Harley and Gordy. So it looks like Harley and Gordy. Wait a minute. We got Brock and Gunther.
Say,
I
you,
got
might
Brock.
you might want to recount that. I thought there was
Okay.
more there.
Let's see. Who'd Austin take?
Brock and Gunther.
Brock and Gunther. So maybe it is Brock and Gunther.
Who'd you go with?
I went with Gordy and Race. There's a Gordy and Race.
I think it's a tie
Okay, we need one more vote, guys.
because Marcus went with Gordy and Harley, right?
Gordy and Harley, yeah.
See, the guy that said he can't pick's got a vote now.
We got a new one.
Yeah.
There's a new one.
David,
Brock and
David,
Gunther.
come on,
Yeah.
David. Get it. Remember who you see.
Okay, next up.
Now, who's that? Is that one of your friends?
Yeah.
Next up, Daniel Bryan and Steamboat taking on Brock Lesnar and Bruiser Brody.
Shoot.
Daniel Bryan Steamboat.
Man, I don't know. That other team would, again,
Who was it?
one's
Brock
power,
and
one's
Brody
speed.
against Bryan and Steamboat.
I ain't going Steamboat this round.
Well, there's two Brock and Brody's, but they see Matthew. Well, there's a Steamboat. Matt Lipson says Steamboat. Then we got Damien DeVille with Brock and Brody, and Daniel with Brock and Brody. Kelly, Brock and Brody.
And they didn't make a shirt that says that. That even sounds pretty cool. Brock and Brody.
Yep. Okay, our last matchup here in this round, Randy Orton and Macho Man Randy Savage taking on Abdullah the Butcher and Mick Foley.
Randy
Butcher-
Orton,
Butcher
Sam
Cactus.
Savage.
Butchered Cactus. And it's going to happen in Puerto Rico, so you know how that's going to end up.
They may all end up dead.
Yeah, I'm going both Randys.
That'd be good too. I like to see that. I think I'm going. Well, both of them guys were my guys, so I'm going both Randys.
I'm gonna go both Randys.
Yeah,
So we have Savage and then two Butcher and Cactuses. I still think it's because you went both Randys, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I think both Randys gonna squeak it out by
Randy's
one.
ticket.
Yep, by one vote.
Okay, guys, this is the final four. We got Taker and Andre, which was Chris's, taking on Brock and Gunther,
Which was mine too.
which was Chris's.
Well, I
And
think
then-
I'm out.
I'm out too, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
And I got that's your side and my side. Okay, this is going to be interesting, Chris. We'll see.
Oh,
who
so
gets
let them fight it out. We'll just sit here and watch you guys just have a
Okay.
match right there between the two of you.
Okay. I'm gonna hit him with this. Hit him with something hard. Okay. Taker and Andre against Brock and Gunther.
Hey, I got still
Brock
two.
and Gunther, easy. They'll be too slow for them two. They're just as big almost. Brock and Gunther, easy.
It all depends on when you pull Andre. If you pulled Andre in like 1988,
Brock
he don't
Brock
have a
had 5
chance.
him either way.
You take
Brock had 5 him either way.
No, you take Andre in the 70s.
Yeah, you don't have a chance.
You don't think Gunther and Brock could team up on him?
He said
2-on-1.
F5. I would love to see Brock Lesnar F5.
I'll go with Brock and Gunther.
Let's see. Kelly says Brock and Gunther.
Taker and Andre.
Matt says Brock and Gunther.
This one's gonna be a close one.
I'm taking Taker and Andre.
So that's
Andre.
2-2. Who'd Marcus?
Taker and Andre.
So that's what me and it looks like Taker Andre. Okay, and that's going to be Brock and Brody against the two Randys. Randy Savage.
Two
and-
Randys.
No, Brock
Two
and Brody.
Randys.
Brock and Brody.
I think Brock and Brody too.
Is it
Both
just
of them
automatically all the big guys win?
Well, have you ever seen Bruce and Brody wrestle?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Brody was awesome.
Yeah, he was. I wish I'd seen him in person.
Brock and Brody.
Randy.
Randy.
Let's see. You guys both said Brock and Brody. So that's 4.
I said Randy.
Still isn't going to
No,
matter.
Brock and Brody.
Because even I said Randy too, but we're still going to lose.
Brock
that
and
makes the
Brody,
last one pretty
Andre
easy.
and the Taker. Wow.
Yeah, we got Taker and Andre against Brock Lesnar and Bruiser Brody.
Taker and Andre.
So I give you Undertaker and Andre. I'd have had Punk. Brock and Brody against Undertaker and Andre, guys.
Yeah, I'm going Undertaker and Andre.
You think Brody ever took on Andre? You'd think that they would. Somewhere, or you would think that would have taken
I would think so because Luger took on Brody and Brody beat the shit out of him.
No, and he left like a little girl because he got up and walked out.
There's a Taker and Andre. Brock and Brody.
I don't know if that one there was from which one that is from.
I'm gonna have to go Taker and Andre.
Daniel says Taker and Andre. It's like Taker and Andre.
Taker and Andre.
I'm not surprised by that one. I figured that'd be hard to beat for most people.
That was pretty cool. I'd say we do another one sometime in the future and do mixed women's tag team.
Man and
I'm
woman.
down for that.
Well, we can do a man and women and do a women's too.
Yeah, both would be pretty cool.
Yep, both of those would be. Well, guys, that was fun. That was cool.
What's next week's gonna be?
Okay, what I have down for next week, I've got the Indie Wrestling Report, got Pro Wrestling Report, Indiana Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Yeah, since we're going to talk over ACW big time, probably.
Yep, we'll be talking a lot about ACW, I'm sure.
Because I think that's all I had here, really.
And I got some more crazy wrestling stories and stuff. And for the bracket next week, we're going to do the most underrated tag team bracket.
Like are we picking, or there's already a bracket?
Yeah, I've already got
Oh, okay.
I can't remember where it came from, Bleacher Report or from another one.
Hopefully,
was
it's
pretty
better than the
interesting.
steel cage one.
It's a lot better than the steel cage one. That steel cage one was horrible. Me and Mark was talking about that yesterday.
All right. Well, do we have anything else before
Do
we
you want to
get
do
out of here?
this 8 bracket worst big men one that's only got 8 people on it?
Okay, yeah, let's do it real quick.
All right,
What is it now?
I don't know how you. I mean, I just wrote. It was on YouTube,
Okay.
and I don't know how do you pair these off. I mean,
Do they have number 1 through 8?
yes,
Okay.
because he started at 8 and went down to 1. How did you want to?
Do
Okay,
1
who-
versus 8.
All right, you
Okay,
tell me
who's
how you
the-
want them, and I'll give the names.
Okay, who was number 1?
L.A. Gate, Chad Gonzalez.
Okay.
Are we
This is the
picking who's the
worst.
worst?
Okay, who's number 8?
The group is the worst 8 big men. Number 8 was Mabel, Viscera, whatever you want to call him.
Yep. Okay, who was number 2?
The Great Khali.
Okay, number 7.
Giant Silva, part of the Oddities.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, number
Is Kurgan also in there?
number 4.
Nails.
Oh, God.
Number 5.
Andre after WrestleMania 3.
And then we have number 3.
Kurgan.
Kurgan. And number 6.
Uncle Elmer.
Who was last?
Uncle Elmer. He was part of the Hillbilly Jam and them.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay. 1 versus 8. The worst. These are supposed to be the worst. Guys.
Worst. Now you got to think it backwards.
Elegante and Mabel. I think Mabel was better than Elegante.
Way better than Giant Gonzalez. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's got to be Giant Gonzalez.
Bodysuit and all. And Mabel, do you know what they said of that thing? They said, you know how they got to where people wanted to see exposed breasts, so they did put Mabel in a pair of suspenders so they'd have exposed breasts. Because there at the end, he was Big V, and he was basically just wearing pants and suspenders.
Remember, Giant Gonzalez was there in NWA, and it was actually even worse when he came out with Sting. Because he was in NWA before he was in WWE.
And like Marcus said last week, that bodysuit
Yeah, bodysuit
was
was
I can't believe you guys actually bought me that action figure. You had on that bodysuit and everything.
Yeah, it did have the action. It had the bodysuit and everything.
You know, I seen Elegante in the NWA or WCW at the Coliseum there in Indy, and he was tall. I mean, tall.
Yeah.
But that bodysuit just made him look stupid. I mean, he was already had the look. He didn't need to have that.
Okay, number 4, Nails against 5, Andre. And this is Andre after what, 88?
Yeah,
I'm still going Nails.
1988 because Andre was really in bad shape.
Still going Nails.
As worse than Andre?
Yep. No matter what era, I'm still going Nails.
I'm gonna have to go Andre. I've seen some of that.
DeVille says Nails also. Well,
Nails just knew how to spit. That's about all he knew.
I think I'm gonna go Nails.
Oh, Nails got fired for choking Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Chris?
I'm gonna go with Nails.
Well, with Nails too. Okay, Nails. Okay, Giant Silva against the Great Khali. Worst has got to be Silva. Silva was worse.
It's Giant. Great Khali, when he first came, could do a little more, but yeah, I'd go Silva.
I think Silva was worse.
Damien says Silva. What did Marcus say?
Oh, I agree, Silva.
Hey, Kurgan and Uncle Elmer. I think Uncle Elmer was worse than Kurgan.
Yeah.
I'm
I was never
I
a Elmer fan.
I'll agree.
Even when he was Plowboy Frazier with Jerry Lawler, he was bad. So
So Elmer was worse. Man, what a matchup we got here. We got Elegante against Nails as the worst, and Silva against Elmer.
Okay, so which one we doing first?
We'll do Elegante and Nails.
as worse, Gante Nails still could work. He just was bad at it.
Yeah, I think Elegante was worse because Nails actually at one time was Dan Spivey. Dan Spivey could work.
And he was part
Yeah.
of Barry. Was he with Barry Windham or was he with
Yeah.
Rotundo?
No, he was with the Rotundo. He took Wyndham's place when Wyndham left. So
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
go with Giant Gonzalez.
I think Elegante also.
Yeah, it looks like that's what Damien says.
And
Elegante. Kelly says Elegante.
who was the worst between Silva and Elmer?
I'm still going Silva.
Yeah, because Elmer at least had matches. Silver was always
Yeah.
an oddity. He was just there.
Yeah, never seen Silva do much.
Elmer good too, but Elmer.
Silva and Elegante.
Yeah. I'll say Silva.
I
Yeah,
think
I
Silva.
will too. I will too. Out of the worst, yeah, of those two.
What do you think, Chris?
Who?
Silva and Elegante, who's the worst? I think Silva was worse than Elegante.
Yeah, I'm going Silva.
Yeah, I'd go Silva. It's not gonna matter what I say anyway. Everybody's going Silva.
Yeah. Real quick before we get out of here, I did hear. I told you guys earlier that I heard the Godfather on Busted Open, and man, he really put over Jerry the King Lawler. Lawler worked with him. Not only that, he said Lawler has done more for the wrestling business of taking green people and making them something. Because Mark Henry said he worked in WWE. I didn't realize it. First match he ever had in WWE, which I knew was against Jerry Lawler. He had never even trained yet. They put him in the ring. He never even locked up with anybody yet. And he did that match with Lawler. He had never trained at all. He did that match with Lawler, and Lawler led the way. And then later on, after he got in trouble and threatened to kill some people, Shawn Michaels, Lawler helped him out, and so did some Rip Rogers. So they really put Lawler over for helping a lot of people in the wrestling industry. Which I think we forget how good Lawler really was. I mean, he was huge in Memphis, but when he left Memphis and went to WWE, he did a lot of great things too. Not necessarily in the ring.
No,
Match-wise.
he could talk.
He could talk and he could work angles and be the bad guy. Yeah,
Great
Lawler.
heel.
Well,
Yeah,
Heyman brought him into ECW there for a while too.
Yeah, one of the best heels and was a big face too in Memphis.
I was never a big champion in WWE.
No,
He never got the title.
No, he already held all those titles down there at Memphis. He didn't need to.
Yeah, a lot of Memphis, and then he had one. I guess it was when World Class and AWA and all them went together. He had a kind of a big belt then.
Well, he had the AWA.
I remember when they did him in the.
Andy was great commentary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus? Who would you prefer, Monsoon and Heenan, or Lawler and Jim Ross?
Oh,
Monsoon
and Heenan.
I'd even say that. And I grew up with JR and
I would say too, but I think most people I really like Jim Ross and Lawler too. But yeah, I'm a big Heenan was just.
I think Heenan and Lawler had been funny as hell. Nobody watched the TV. They'd be laughing their asses off at them guys trying to outwit the other one because it was so quick at what they said.
There was a match early on in WCW where Hogan first Flair came to the ring and Heenan held up four fingers. Well, then Flair came to the ring and he held up four fingers. Hogan came to the ring. He said, "I just held up one for him." Heenan was awesome, man.
Damien said Gorilla and Bobby was the best. He said Jesse and Gorilla was good too.
Yeah, Jesse and Gorilla.
Jesse Gorilla was pretty good. Jesse was different. I mean, he was just he was a different style, but I liked him too. somebody else I thought did a pretty good job of commentary. I don't think he really got over commentary. I thought Kurt Hennig did pretty good on commentary when he did it. I thought Piper did well.
Savage did there for a while.
Yep.
I think if Cole and McAfee were together for a long
They're a
time,
good duo.
I think
Very
them
good.
two would be right up there.
Yeah, I agree.
With about anybody as well.
Michael Cole's one of the best.
Because
And
Cole's so good, and
And I tell
McAfee just with the energy he brings, and
also, let me ask you, and I'm forgetting his name right now. You'll know who I'm talking about. He's the guy that does SmackDown now. Corey Graves.
Uh-huh.
Why do people hate on him so much? I think he's good.
I think some people just don't like him with the whole Carmella thing, like them two kind of like cheating. I just think people don't like him, but he's great as like a commentator, in my opinion.
I think he does real good.
I think it's just a thing, people not being able to separate, that issue
Or
most of
feelings.
the part.
Okay.
Yeah,
That happens.
but
Oh,
he's
God.
great on.
I think that's all we got for tonight.
So next week we're just doing my spotlight, and then we're going to cover AACW.
Yep, we got spotlight. I can do a crazy wrestling story or come up with another bracket, but I also have the most underrated tag team brackets too.
All right. So who wants to hear it? You want to hear Mick Foley, or you want to hear Ultimate Warrior, and then the following week will be the next one.
Warrior next week.
All right.
Everybody out there, hey, big show in Kokomo this Saturday. Go check it out. I think it's gonna be a great show. I forget, Marcus, you remember probably bell time, probably 7. So
7:05.
7:05.
I remember seeing it on the poster.
Okay.
And they're doing trunk or treat and a Halloween costume thing for the kids. I mean, it's for everybody, but it's for the kids. I mean, everybody can dress up, but
Yep.
And I guess they're doing trunk or treat and 30-man plus excellence title Royal Rumble. And
I think Chris will enter it.
if I enter, I'm gonna win it.
Well, go for it. Me and Tony can handle the Wiley.
Commentary, yeah.
Leonard Pig can handle commentary while you're up there.
I think if somebody's gonna enter, it should be Dad.
No.
Did your dad say something about Justin Terrell wanting to come on?
Yep.
Yeah, I figured we'd do that before he hit his next one.
Yep.
Well,
And when are you showing all those promos?
It'll probably be either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to. Yeah, we'll talk about it here in a minute.
Yep. We'll get off the air. We'll talk about it.
I have my UK podcast interview tomorrow. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
So,
All right, we appreciate everybody joining us. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. And we'll be back next Monday at 6:30 with another episode of Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Hey, how's it going, Phil? Thanks for joining us. And then also back Monday for that. And then we'll be putting out some stuff. We got some promos for AACW we're going to be putting out this week. Probably going to have an interview as well. So be on the lookout for a graphic about that. We appreciate everybody joining us, and we'll see you guys on Monday.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.